El Yunque sits in this kind of special place. It's the only tropical rainforest in the National Forest system, and being in Puerto Rico, it has a special connection to the Caribbean. So as we went through the revitalization process, in working with our communities, our partners, and our neighbors, we emphasized the cultural connections, the art, the visuals, but also those values of visitor information and how can people connect to El Yunque, and then how does El Yunque connect to the people.
The Forest Service took the opportunity after the hurricanes to do a complete renovation.
After Maria, there were issues with the structural elements that contain all the roofs. There were issues with leaking and rusting. The building just didn't serve its purpose anymore.
So our scope was really to help the Forest Service to rethink all of the visitor center, its functions, its environmental compliance. As landscape architects, Marvel also helped the Forest Service to redefine the landscape.
At the particular point in history, I think it was a very important hurricane recovery project. I think it was very symbolic.
You really see it as not as another construction project, but you see it as a landmark here.
It was a big lift for Marvell to really take a structure that has been in use for over 20 years and really making it something that's a model that we can move forward, that's more sustainable, both from a facility management, but also sustainable from its footprint and all those improvements.
You have the main gallery of the visitor center where the roof is really high. And then you have the upper part where you have 3 different pavilions. One for strictly exhibition space, the other one for all sorts of community meetings or events. And then the third pavilion was dedicated for a full cafeteria.
We added all new native vegetation. We recycled wood from mahogany trees that fell during Hurricane Maria. The project is also solar ready. The roofs were designed south-facing to take advantage of the sun. So it's just a matter of installing the solar panels in the new standing seam roofs.
The lower level, all of that space is dedicated now for community meetings, community office space, and their presence there in the community center or the visitor center.
Así que el incluir a las comunidades y a actores locales como organizaciones, fundaciones como nosotros, permitió que tuviera un objetivo mucho más específico y que cumpliera con las necesidades que nosotros al menos como organización tenemos para poder promover nuestras actividades educativas y de conservación.
We took a number of the previous facilities that were either underutilized or the utilization wasn't fully maximized and added features including lighting in our pavilions, fans, passive airflow that enable us to change and adapt into the future and have more offerings, more experiences for the public.
Before this project, there was no accessible trail in the entire Yunque National Forest. And it was a challenge because the site of El Portal itself is pretty steep. So we had to create a snaking trail back and forth, moving down slowly. And also we tried to bring color and vegetation that is reminiscent of the experience of the tropical landscape as you come up from Luquillo and from Rio Grande, the towns near the shore.
I would say a visit to El Portal is far more experiential now. We want people to come here, be empowered to go explore their national forest, their tropical rainforest.
Que ahora la nueva cara del portal ha permitido esta conexión con comunidades locales, con organizaciones, ¿verdad? Como nosotros y otras tantas que participamos en el desarrollo, participación y puesta en marcha de proyectos dentro del portal, siendo mucho más inclusivo, principalmente a las comunidades, escuelas, voluntarios, ¿verdad? Que quieren formar parte del bosque, pero no tenían la oportunidad o veían este espacio como algo muy alejado, no lo sentían tan suyo como ahora lo es.
Traigo a toda mi familia aquí y mis amistades. Y yo no paro de hablar del espacio porque los invito a que tengan la experiencia. Tienes paredes, pero es abierto. Y es como una tranquilidad lo que te provoca el caminar, el ver las veredas, y el aprender. Porque tú vas por esas veredas y de momento viste una planta que nunca habías visto, pero está escrito allí, te está explicando de dónde viene, qué es lo que es.
It does create a different dynamic for a visitor center. It's not just about the visitor, it's about the visitor who's coming from the States, the people who are working there, the visitors who are local, the people from the communities. Giving that opportunity for all those things to work in the same spot makes a very different experience than a typical museum.
This is a working building that operates at top level for tourism, for the local community to have meeting rooms, and for the officers and the administration of the Forestry Service who need a place to work. We've really turned it into a wonderful showcase for all of these different layers within the community.